Let's get it started here. In a second. Let's go on our one hour time frame here. Just mark out these support and resistance levels. Stretch this on over. Just kind of go back and forth. Sometimes it's not too clear. Just go back and forth on a Heikin-Ashi chart here. And sometimes the supply and demand areas don't extend all the way over to the right and just creates another one. Just mark that out here. This one here is just kind of chopping through it. Just gonna delete that one. I take this one over here though, the top. Right here. This one's more valuable. Looks a lot better with that one there. This one here. So I'm gonna shorten. Alright, so we got our levels marked out there. It's pretty good. This bottom one here is going to extend. See here. All right, you got that. Let's go to our 5-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame directional bias. Let's see. 15-minute, we are bearish. Break of this most recent low right here. Close over that low with this red candle. 30 minutes. Let's see. Going back, most recent break of this low right here. 3 minutes bearish, and then on the 1 hour time frame going back, most recent breakup structure would be this low right here, the close over this red candle. So all time frames are bearish. 5 minute, we are, let's see, looks like there's a supply zone right here. Supply and demand. This is a supply zone. Let's see what it does inside. 5 minute chart. Make sure we mark out our fair value gaps here, FVGs. Here we have a bearish one. Bearish gap sitting at the top. 5 minute. Five-minute gap sitting down here at the bottom. Bullish gap. For a 5 here, saying just so we know it's a 5 minute gap and not 1 minute. Same thing here. I think that looks good. Looks like it broke through the supply zone. We don't need it anymore. I'm going to delete that. Let's go on our 1 minute. See what we have. Any aversion zones. At the bottom here we had this bearish gap becomes bullish inversion. See here, liquidity 1 minute up here. All right, let me see. Bullish gap up here becomes bearish inversion. Let's check the 1 minute. Looks like we have a 5 minute gap that's forming here. There was this cross over this EMA SMA. Let's see where that cross was. Not yet. I'll play one more candle here. Not yet. Is it lagging? There's no reason it's lagging. Okay, so cross happened there. So if you were to take a break of structure or break of structure or break of the high off of this candle, you enter there. Stop loss would be 2 candles before that, so you would enter right there and then take it to 1 minute liquidity. Let me see. What is this looking like? We have a 5 minute gap that's forming, so I wouldn't get in right now. I still have some time before it's 4:53, still a little bit early here. I say once that 5 minute gap closes, I'll possibly get in. Let me see. Let's say if we actually got in right here, 15-second liquidity would have. Yeah, this would have been a break even. I would hold off on this trade in that sense. There was a 15-second liquidity right here. Let's say even if we were to get in, stop loss move to break even once it hits 15-second liquidity, which it did hit right there. There's another 15-second liquidity that I just took out on the left hand side over here. Once it hits these 15-second liquidities, then price tends to kind of bounce off of it pretty easily. Right here didn't as much. There's 15-second liquidity, but I took those areas out right there. All right, 5 minute gap just formed completely, and we're gonna mark this up here. Bullish gap. All right, let's go back on the 1 minute time frame. Don't see any other. This is a bearish FEG here. Looks like, yeah. Yeah, this one's a bearish FEG. Drag that on over. I think there was a hold on. Not bearish FEG. Well, it was right here. This is bearish FEG. Broke through it. Bullish inversion. Broke back down. That would delete it. Alright, so this one here is a bearish FEG becomes bullish inversion. Sorry, bullish FEG becomes bearish inversion once price breaks through it. There you go. Just delete these areas here. Don't need them anymore. This here is a 5 minute gap. This here, yeah, bearish gap here. Bullish gap becomes, there's a bearish inversion. So this right here is a bullish gap. Price breaks through it, becomes a bearish inversion. So we got this 1 minute liquidity just in case price decides to reverse and come starts trading back down. This 1 minute right here, we have this bearish FEG. If it starts trading above, then I could take this bearish FEG as a bullish inversion, look for entries to go up. Notice where the EMAs, SMAs are. 50 SMA, 13 EMA. So in this case, you're going to want to trade above this 13 EMA for entry. And for that to happen, then you're wanting to take longs, and then to take a long, then you want to use a bullish inversion. Here's the body for the bullish inversion that needs to be broken here. or closed over. On see, on the 5-minute, we broke this 5-minute gap here, so but it's also forming this 5-minute bearish FEG. Oh, let's do this 5-minute. I'm gonna take a short here. Let me see. Let me try it. The reason I took a short is we have a. Give me a second. Let's see, 1-to-1. Be right here. Okay, so I would target this guy down here. The reason why I took a short is we have a 5-minute breakout. Five-minute breakout. So we have a little bit of resistance coming, pushing to the upside from these candles, and then this candle broke out through this past this 13 EMA. What we're gonna do is once it hits this bullish FEG here, or this bullish inversion over here, I'm gonna trail it on the 15-second. If it could push as far down as it can, that'll be good. So we could be at least in a little bit of some profit. Sorry, I'm gonna trail the 1-minute candle off of this bullish inversion, and then once it hits this gold line, I trail the 15-second. Just gonna put alert here. So 1-minute candle off this bullish inversion. If it taps into it, I'll trail it. If it taps into the gold, trail the 15-second. All right, it tapped inside. So we're gonna trail the 1 minute. Once this closes, I'll trail it. So we'll trail it to the top of that red candle. If it pushes down to more, we'll trail it on the 15-second. So we'll be in at least a minimum break even. Let's trail that there, 1 minute candle. So we get more of a push down. Sell pressure. Let's go to the 15-second. We'll start trailing the 15-second. Hit it right there. So we'll trail there. Let's get out. There we go. Nice. A little bit of profit there. You can continue to trail the 1 minute if you want, but tap this support zone right here. So once it did that, I like to trail the 15-second just because it's a little bit more aggressive once it hits a support or resistance. Price is a little more aggressive with pushing back, so I like to trail it a little bit harder. But otherwise, if you want to keep trailing the 1 minute, you can trail it there, and then now trail it here. But we took a little bit of profit down at the bottom, which is nice. Okay. All right, not bad of a trade there. It looks like it's continuing going down. Delete this for now. Hey, what's up, Chloe? I just took a trade. We just got out of it. A little bit of partial profit. We had a breakout of, so a little bit of buy pressure going up, and then we have a breakout of this candle right here closing past this 13 EMA. So it closed right here past over this 13 EMA, then everything is bearish. So I took a sell position right here and target. This was TP was down here. It hit support and resistance zone right here, or support zone right here. So I trailed the 15 seconds. We got out a little bit of profit, which is good. Let's see if we could get one more trade in, if I can find another setup. This bullish inversion zone is, we delete that one. That one is broken. We're gonna delete this. And yeah, I got in a little bit up at the top here when it bounced off that bearish gap. It looks like it's still pushing down. This 1 hour resistance, right? What's up with my internet? Sorry, my internet is a little laggy, a little spotty today. A little bit of support right here. See all the wicks? So this, around this area, you just gotta be careful. This is the 1 hour support level. Let's go on the 5 minute, right? All right, let's see what we have here. I'm gonna delete this. We took a little bit of profit off of this trade. so not too bad. This one here, we have a bearish FEG. On the 5-minute, it's bouncing off of, so it's resisting off of this support level right here. So on the 1-minute, it may start trending up, and possibly we could use these levels as a bullish inversion to look for long positions going up. Here we have a 15-second liquidity right here. But notice where the EMAs, SMAs, 50 EMA, 13 EMA, 50 SMA. It's where if it's lined up that way, then we can't take buys until these cross over. The 13 crosses over the 50. Right here we have a bullish FEG here. Now possibly price breaks below it, retests, and then continue downwards. We could look for profits down there, just based on where the EMAs, SMAs are lining up. This 15-second liquidity, this dot popped up here, so change it back, or change it to, it's now a 1-minute liquidity here. All right, this green candle broke through it. Now this becomes a bullish inversion. See if price stays above. I'm not gonna use this bullish inversion for buys, just because I still want this candle body high up here to be broken. because you still have a lot of, even though you have bullish inversion, there's still a lot of there's still sell pressure from the candle body high here. Now if this candle closes through these areas, then this will become, it's most likely going to close through. It doesn't look like it's going to hold up. Okay, nice. This becomes a bearish inversion now. Bullish gap becomes bearish inversion. Also closed over this candle body low that created this bullish move here. So that's good. We'll look for an entry once price pulls back. We'll look for an entry, see if we could get a short position in here. I used to trade gold, but gold moves pretty sloppy. It doesn't respect the versions. It doesn't move as clean, or it hasn't been moving as clean. I used to trade gold for about, say, about 5 solid months. Yeah, 5 solid months straight, and then it just got really sloppy. So I don't trade gold anymore. And then I realized, all right, give me a second. Let me see if we could get a position in here. I want a green candle Heikin-Ashi on the 1 minute to pull back. So this, I like this area. We have a bearish inversion with a stacked on top of a bearish FVG right here. Right. And then for my entry, I need at least one green Heikin-Ashi candle to close up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna adjust this right here. I'm not gonna get in the trade yet, but I'll let you know what I'm looking for. TP is gonna be down here at this first liquidity level. So I'm just gonna keep adjusting this here until I see until whatever pops up. If I see what needs to be popped up. Okay, I'm gonna exit this out here and then go back to this right here. See how I didn't hold it? This green candle closed over this bearish version along with this FEG. You have to wait for confirmation. A lot of people will see the gaps and they will just get in, and then without confirmation, and then they get taken out. Here looks like we have a bullish FEG that's forming. See a lot of people, there was a lot of inversion. There's a couple inversions here, and then people got in and then got taken out on both sides. So here you have an inversion right here. Here you have this bullish inversion. People took some buys right here to go up, but then got wiped out by this red candle right here that dropped all the way down. And then here you have a bearish inversion right here that was broken through, where people would have gotten in to go for shorts, but then got wiped out by this move that went up here. Sorry, that wasn't the version. So this was the bullish gap that becomes the bearish inversion right here. So yeah, go over here. Wait for confirmation. Now we have, there's this bearish inversion here, or bearish gap that becomes a bullish inversion right there. I'd say it's safer if price breaks through this and continues up here. Just taking a look at where the EMAs, SMAs are right here. All right, so this one you have to be careful. You have a bearish bullish gap that becomes a bearish inversion, and then you have a bearish FEG that is forming right inside of it. Usually when you have this, might get deleted actually. All right, the bearish gap was closed, but you still have this bearish inversion, so you're in between these two areas here. So let's see which one will. Bearish inversion. If we could get a little bit more of a pullback into this bearish inversion and then continue downwards, then I would possibly look for a trade right there. Just because my EMAs 50 SMA, 13 EMA, telling me we're looking for short positions. I want more of a pullback into this bearish inversion, and then we'll look for an entry going down. This bullish inversion here might get disrespected, but if not, if price goes up, then we could possibly trade off of this gap right here. I think a lot of people have lost in this area. If you're looking for shorts, they got wiped out. Looking for buys, they got wiped out there. Alright, this bearish inversion is disrespected with this red candle that closed over, so we'll delete this one here. 15-second liquidity, we delete that one there. Yeah, it's taking all the liquidity here, huh? It's a bearish FVG here. Excuse me. I think it's a 1 minute gap over here. No, what is this? 5 minute gap? Yeah. Okay, this is a 5 minute gap. And then another 5 minute gap. Okay, now since price is starting to trade a little lower, what I'm going to do is go back a little bit more and hit this replay. This way that my indicator is able to work a little bit better. See where price is at right now. Yeah. So this right here is the price already broke this right here. Yeah. So we'll delete that. Oops. What did I do? It's a bullish gap right here. I'm going to mark this up. We just want to mark it up just because if price breaks through it, we could use it as a bearish inversion to trade lower. Okay. Man, look at that. A lot of people are getting wiped out. It's because you have this 1 hour resist or 1 hour support level right here. People are taking buys and sells when it's trading above, below this level, but they're getting faked out. All right, so price broke through this bearish inversion here. This is what the 5 minute is looking like right now. There's a decent amount of, there's a consolidation right here. It's a lot of consolidation right here. Which is not bad. Just price is eventually gonna spike up or down somewhere, but we can still get in some trades even on the lower time frame with that consolidation. 5 minute. Let me mark this out. This is a bearish gap on the 5 minute. Alright, let's go back to the 1 minute here. See what we have. This becomes a bullish inversion right here. This green candle closed over this. This down here is a bullish inversion now. This is a strong. Anytime you have a 1 minute gap that's connected to a bullish to any inversion, so you have a bullish gap connected to a bullish inversion, this bullish FEG is strong here, so you could possibly take a trade off when it comes down here or when it comes down to this bullish inversion. Let me switch to, let me see here, my indicator. I want a cross of this white 13 EMA across the 50 SMA, and I want to pull back. I want one red Heikin-Ashi candle here to trade off of, and then we can look for longs. We're targeting this 1 minute liquidity. Still need a deeper pullback though. The only thing we just gotta be careful of this 5 minute FEG right here, 5 minute gap. I still want a red Heikin-Ashi candle, pull back, and then I'll see if there's an entry depending on where we enter, just because this 5 minute gap is here. If it closes over it and it pulls back down into this inversion zone, so if it closes over the 5 minute, if the 5 minute candle closes over, we could delete it and don't have to worry about that zone. Then if it pulls back, we could target maybe, because it might take this liquidity right here, this 1 minute liquidity. If it takes it, we'll just delete this this here. Yeah, it looks like it took that. Now we're in a bearish inversion here. The 5 minute gap looks like it's most likely going to be deleted off this candle. Yeah, it's gonna close over it, so we'll delete it there. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's go back on the 1 minute. Just gonna put a alert here just in case price is able to pull back down here and use this gap, this strong FEG or this bullish inversion zone to bounce off of, to go back up here. One minute. Did you see how much information the 1 minute gave us down here? So based on that, like it told me, well, one, it told me the setup wasn't there. I had to wait, and then also a lot of people got in, but on this 1 minute around that area, they told me a lot of information there. It's not bad once you get used to it. So 1 minute liquidity up here. Okay. All right, this is where it gets pretty dangerous if you're looking for longs. You have this bullish FEG right here, right? That may possibly become a bearish inversion on top of this bearish FEG right here. If it closes over it. Let's see what happens. All right, it does. So you have a bearish inversion stacked on top of a bearish gap. So this is a strong FEG just because it's stacked on top of the bearish inversion. If we're looking for longs, then you would want to enter when these two zones are broken, when this is broken and this is broken. So you don't have to worry about sellers. You don't have to worry about sellers pushing price back down, right? So if that happens, or if we get a setup like that, then, or if we get a setup where these zones are broke, or this is broken, then we could look to enter long and target this 1 minute liquidity at the top here. So in this area, lots of sell pressure. So some people might take the bullish gap right here, or they might take this bullish inversion and go long, but you have a lot of sell pressure right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get set up just in case. What happens would be if price spikes through and closes above all this and breaks it, then we could possibly get in. Target. This, we have a 15-second liquidity up here. Let's see what happens. I do want all this to be broken. Delete. I want these to be deleted. I want a good candle push up close above here. Above this gap. That's a good push, but it still hasn't deleted the bearish inversion and the strong FEG here. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do a little bit more of mid order, still buy stop. Seems lagging today. I'm gonna put should delete this here. I wanted this I was looking for this candle right here, this red one, to push all the way up and tag us in for that strong bullish pressure. But if you get in right here at the break of the next high, then you have this sell pressure here to bring it back down, which we don't want that. But technically, if you were to get in, you'd get in right there and then target this 1 minute up here. If it closes, if it starts closing above it and then pulls back, then I'll look to get in right where initially you're supposed to get in, right here. And I'll do a limit order once it closes over these, it breaks these two areas that I was talking about. So technically you're in the trade if you're more aggressive. Might close over, so if it does, we'll get in for a limit order. Yeah, let's do a limit order here. See if it pulls back. It closed over this and this, so won't have to worry about that. See if price could tag us back in. So the limit order would be down here. This becomes a bullish inversion. Oh gosh, look at that spike. Look at that candle spike. If it's his bearish inversion, I am going to trail the 1 minute. If it hits the 15-second liquidity, I am going to move stop loss to break even. TP is going to be up here. So we get a buy pressure off this bullish inversion. This bullish inversion gets deleted since closed over. Let's see if price can still push up. Hmm. We need a little bit of bullish pressure to get out of a little bit of this bearish. We're in a little bit of bearish pressure right now, but let's see if the buyers could help us out. Yeah, this is the drawdown, and it's just sitting here. You just gotta hold through it, man. You gotta be confident in your trade. So even if it hits stop loss, then you know it's a good trade. So a little bit of buy pressure stepping in. That's a good push. Let's see if we could continue. At least we could trail it if it's this bearish inversion or the 15-second liquidity up here. Yeah, stop loss break even. Chloe, we did it. Good trade. Ha. Very nice, very nice. All right, I'm just gonna run over that trade real quick again, but overall pretty good. Minus that little drawdown that we had and this candle that tagged us in the trade and then wicked all the way near stop loss, and then it just started to kind of play around and draw down and then just took off from there. Okay. So I'm just gonna map this out. Do this real quick. All right, what we have is we're wanting to take this trade off of this 5 minute, or sorry, this 1 minute. So you have this bullish inversion here stacked on top of this this FEG. I call this a strong FEG just because when you have an FEG that sits on top of another FEG or on top of an inversion, then it makes it a little bit stronger than just a normal, as if it was just instead of it was a normal just gap here without an inversion, but there's an inversion here. So this FEG is strong here. So I wanted to, looking at how the 13 MA is and the 50 SMA, I'm looking for longs, right? So if I'm looking for longs, I want to target on the 1 minute, target this 1 minute liquidity. So we have that target there. Price did tap into it, but we didn't get in just because if you go on Heikin-Ashi candle on the 1 minute, I want a deeper pullback. So I want to see a red Heikin-Ashi, right? At least a red Heikin-Ashi pullback to the zone here, right? This pullback to the zone, this move here that pulled back into this gap, if you go on the 1 minute, I don't see any red Heikin-Ashi candles, right? So that tells me that, okay, that wasn't a deep pullback. So I want a deeper pullback. So we got the deeper pullback, and then right here we have this bearish FEG and this bearish inversion. Now this is the same thing as the bottom. We have this strong FEG and this, so it's a strong FEG just like this one down here because it's stacked on top of a bullish inversion. This strong FEG is strong because it's that FEG is stacked on this bearish inversion. Now when initially I would go on the 1 minute and enter off of the next break of, let's see, I need a longer higher wick or longer upper wick than okay, so the wick of this guy at the top is shorter, so I think the entry would be up here since this this candle has a higher upper wick than a lower wick, but let me see what happens. Yeah, so you have entered there and then target up here. Okay. I didn't enter inside just because if I did enter, it could just drop down to stop loss just because you have these two gaps here. So I waited for this green candle to close over this gap and then this inversion right here. So now it tells me buyers are in control. So since our initial entry was like around this area, once it closed over, waited for that to get deleted. I just want to see if there's a pullback so we could enter there, which I don't know what happened, but it pulled back. I had a limit order there. It pulled back, tagged me in, and then almost stopped me out immediately right there. That's a crazy candle. Like within like, I don't know how many seconds, 1 second. Yeah, like less than 5 seconds. About 8 seconds actually. Okay. And then from there, just let the trade play out. And that's it. If it hit stop loss, it hit stop loss. I know that was a good trade, so if it hit stop loss, then it hits stop loss. Because it could have just consolidated here and then go down, hit stop loss. But good thing just had picked up some bullish pressure here and then took TP. So all right, nice. Overall, not too bad. Got some good returns off that one trade there. All right, Clay. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll catch you later. See you tomorrow.